they mess with me. I don't know if you've ever been to a Potbelly, but it's cool to just. Well, I don't know about every Potbelly, but my Potbelly, they know what I do, and it's cool for me to just walk and be like, "Hey, y'all, what's up?" You know,
they respect the game.
Yeah, for sure. They're a little jealous, but don't worry about that.
Yeah. And you're from Kentucky.
Born and raised in Louisville.
Okay. What was it like growing up in Kentucky? I don't know nothing about the South other than stereotypes and horrific shit. So. No,
it was. Right. I'm white. I'm from Louisville. I feel like, I'm younger too. I was born in 95, so I'm not sure. Yeah. But I'm not black as well. So you know what I mean? I wouldn't have any idea. But I know those people, they stay far away from Louisville. They out in the boons. That's what people say. I'm not from Kentucky. I'm from Louisville. That's what they say.
It's like being in Chicago, not like Schaumburg or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Were you like the funny kid growing up, or I feel like you were mischievous.
Oh, all that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the youngest child too of 3. I got older brothers, so.
And you got away with shit?
Everything, yeah.
Well, what was it like growing up for you?
It was, like I said, 2 older brothers, so they was out doing their thing, and I was stealing from them. Don't worry about it. But, as far as me, I just played a lot of sports. My mom kept me very busy all the time, so I played softball, basketball, field hockey. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Well, she had to get me into another sport early in the year, and it was either that or, like, volleyball maybe, and I was like, I'll go to field hockey one day and see how I like it. Yeah. And it ended up to be like the next 8 or 9 years of my life, I loved it. Yeah. Which is an odd sport, right? Yeah. But it is fun.
Is it like literally hockey in a field?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like no snow down there, right?
No, it's like it's field hockey.
Okay.
Sticking a ball, baby.
So you always had like a time, like you've just been you for forever.
Yeah, forever.
That's dope. Like growing up, I was always trying to be someone else, and it seems like you've been very comfortable in yourself ever since I met you.
Right.
Did your family like encourage that? Just this be yourself mentality?
Well, yeah. Nope. Like I said, I was born with redneck men, and my dad, it's all about hunting and fishing and getting down and dirty and landscaping and this and that and sports. But there was times in my life where I chose to be like when the first day of middle school, I said, Mom, I want you to go out and get me some girl clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, what's it called? Hand-me-downs.
Yeah,
Feel me? Yeah. All the time, which I love. Like, don't get me wrong, I like a loose fit, But there was times where I was like, this is what people are expecting me. They're calling me, gay, and I'm in 6th grade. I don't even know what that means. But I was like, this is just me. And then I was like, take me. And in middle school, we didn't have uniform. So I was in by the end of middle school, I just wore sweatpants every day. And like a big tee. Yeah. And then I went to high school, and I was like, let's go.
I can't picture you in girly shit.
Yeah. No.
You wouldn't do that now.
No. I would if somebody paid me enough. People be offering that all the time. Pay me enough. I'll put on a dress. I'm out here.
When's the last time you had a dress on?
I would say last time I wore a dress was in high school. Probably like sophomore year. I was closeted. I was always like this, but I wasn't gay, Yeah. So all the older girls, we were going to, what's that called? Like the soldier, what's that called? Jace,
prom?
JROTC.
Oh, yeah.
JROTC dance or some shit like that. And they're like, I was like, I'll go. I just kind of wanted to be there. Yeah. So I was like, I'll wear a dress. Like, girl, it'll be fun, And I went over. It was all softball players that got me all dressed up.
Are there pictures? Period. Are there proof?
It might be. This was back in the day before cameras were like a huge thing.
Everywhere.
So yeah,
right. So you got the Polaroids, right? Like that's the type of shit. Okay.
Right.
It's buried somewhere.
Yeah.
So you were growing up closeted in the South, and your family couldn't pick up on.
I wasn't closeted for that long. Then I know when I came out the closet.
When did that happen?
I had a girlfriend that I met at Steak and Shake, obviously. I had a girlfriend prior to that when I was 15. But this one's the one I came out the closet. And it became a big thing with my dad because I was stealing pennies, right? Because I know. Okay. All right, let me backtrack.
Okay, yeah.
So we didn't, get a lot of money handed to us, right? Like, sure. If we're going to the movies, you got the $5 and that's it. So my dad had all these pennies.
Yeah.
that he was like collecting or something. I don't know. Like change, like you know how your old people, my parents are old too. You know how they have the bucket of change?
Mm-hmm.
So what I was doing was I was stealing the change, taking it to a Coinstar and cashing it in and getting like $60. Fuck it. I started selling weed and everything. Yeah. And I would walk like 2 miles with like all pennies. So like $60 worth of pennies. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And my dad was like family meeting in here, and I had a job and everything, and he was like family meeting. Somebody has been out my garage stealing my change. He was like, I'm about to go get all the records, whoop-de-wop, and I'm gonna find out who it was. And I was like, and my other brother was there, and he was like, Emily, and I was like, all right, it's me. And my mom knew I had told her while she was asleep. She always, you know what I'm saying. It wasn't that hard to believe, but yeah. And then he was like, why would you do that? You have a job. And I was like, well, Lauren has my bank card because we're saving up for a vacation. We're like 16.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, what? You're 16? You saving up for a vacation?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we're like, my first at Steak and Shake. That's where we met. We're like 16. We're saving up for whatever vacation, Gatlinburg, whatever. I'm like, hold my card. I'll get paid. We'll pay it. But if I have my card, I'm going to spend everything that's on it and more. You know what I mean? So then my mom was like, tell him why she has your card. And I was like, because she's my girlfriend. And he was like, it didn't really matter.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It was just about the money.
Yeah, it was about the money, man. So it wasn't like a big thing. Like my dad knows I get the most pussy in the house. That has came out of his mouth, period. And I have all brothers, okay?
Yeah.
So they're proud of me now. My mom be my wingman, too. I swear to God. She be with the thoughts, bro.
I met her briefly. You guys were like walking around downtown. She seemed very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an older lady, but she's with the shits. I be like this. If I'm talking about one girl and looking at her like this, she know. She know.
She know.
She's with it.
Are you dating right now, or are you just out there doing what you feel like?
I just do what I feel like.
I support it.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
Are we good to...
Oh, yeah, you trying to smoke?
Yeah.
Sorry that coming out story wasn't the best one you ever heard. No, they were never like, oh, my God.
No,
you know what I mean?
I think that's, like, healthy. I think that's good. Like, when you hear these dramatic... You know, then my family kicked me out and disowned me. Right. It's like it makes for good drama, but that's a fucked up life to have.
Right. And I mean not like that, but I would hope to God it was the same. But what if it was one of my brothers? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, would it be different than your little girl? And I always been the same, rough around the edges. Always me. Always. You know what I mean? Big dog.
Is that how you feel? But you feel like you're kind of a big aggressive?
No, I don't. I'm not aggressive at all. I swear to God, I'm like one of those big teddy bears, you know. And I feel like people think I'm aggressive all the time, and I'm like, dude, I'll take my shirt off the back for you. You need to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need to get home. I don't know. I transit, but we'll get you there. Period.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I remember coming here for the first time, and I remember meeting. It was like all around the same time. You, Brandon Kiefer, Rovon, Zach. Like, you guys had a whole crew going on.
Yeah, I remember that day.
You seemed one of the more approachable.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you. I'm here. Right.
I remember feeling like intimidated might not be the right word, but y'all have this punk rock vibe within comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
that's the squad, baby.
Yeah. That's that. Who's your crew? Because I know everyone in Chicago has like their friend group. Who is your? Oh, thank you. Who is your people?
Well, I mean, I like to think everybody, but not everybody got your back. You know what I'm saying?
I've learned
that's
that the
just
hard
the
way.
world of comedy. But yeah, for sure. And that's like, and for us, like Brandon and Zach, and obviously Rovon.
We're gonna talk about that. I've written down.
Right. Yeah. But obviously Zach, Brandon, those are Southern boys. They remind me of so much of my brothers. So it's like I'm very much safe at home with them. Yeah. You know, and it's more if it's outside of comedy. You know what I mean? It's real friends.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That feels hard to find. Man, that's why. Okay, everyone always like, man, why would you move from California? You by LA, that's where all the shit is. You ever been to LA?
No. One time when my flight to Vegas was missed.
Go to Disneyland, go back. That's all you need to do. Like, go to the beach and go back. Like, the vibe there, trying to there's like a everyone's on. Everyone's trying to get something
all the time.
All the time. And I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience for it. It makes me uncomfortable. You know when you feel like, I don't know, do you run any shows out here?
Run?
Yeah.
No, I have, but no.
Okay, you know when you
Too
run
much.
a show and and people are like, you know, hey, and it's like,
it's like, bro, right.
Just ask.
Yeah.
Just ask, just be chill. But when did you move to Chicago? Actually, when did you start comedy?
I started comedy when I was 20
Okay.
with a fake ID in Louisville, Chicago. Chicago.
Yeah,
Oh, shit. It's kicking in, baby. Fresh off work. Emily, fresh out these motherfucking Potbelly streets.
You started at 20 in Louisville.
At 20. And you know what? My mama put a newspaper out. She's the type of woman. She's old. She's 65, And she puts out this newspaper. She kept circling every week about the open mic going on at this point. I think it was Laugh and Derby, but now it's back to Comedy Caravan. If you ever been to Louisville, it's always been Comedy Caravan, but they went over to Laugh and Derby for a little bit, and it was just $1. You had to go pay $2 to perform and $1 to just watch, and then whoever had the best set. And I kept looking at this news every week. She'd put this newspaper out. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that shit. And then one day I went up and I was like, I got my homie Jose. I was like, y'all got my back. Like, we finna go. I had his sister's ID, Gabriela Maria Gonzalez. She was 21, right? Yeah. And so I went in there and I fucking did not win the money. I bombed. This dude, Lucius, is a big comedian in Louisville. He was like, you look like, the way you want to hold that mic, you look like you just finna start rapping. He was like, you should have. He was like, that probably would have been funnier than what you did.
Do you remember what you were saying?
In that, I honestly don't. And that was maybe, then I might have been a little younger than 20. But when I really went at it 20, and then 21, I moved here because I was the best.
That's fast. God. Okay, let me break this down here. So you're about 19 and your mom's telling you to do stand up.
Yeah.
That's different. Well, all these comics
I didn't have a lot going for me, big dog. But I'm a cool motherfucker.
So what, your mom was just like, you funny, just go be famous, be a famous comedian.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I always been like, like you said, the class clown and da-da-da. Yeah. And when we playing sports, like, I was always just the hype man, you feel me? So, yeah. But, yeah, she was the one that said it, not me, and look at me now. Yeah. 28. So, I'm born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, but I became an adult in Chicago because I moved here at 21, and I'm 28 now, and that's a huge difference of your life. Like, where you're born and raised is different from where you become an adult, I believe, so.
I admire your courage. That shit is scary. You didn't know anybody, right?
Not a single fucking soul, man.
That's
not a soul.
And you're from, it's Kentucky. Kentucky's hot, right?
Yeah.
Where people like, it's going to be cold, dog.
Yeah, everybody says that. And my daddy sent me off with as soon as we pulled up, he said, if you get murdered down here, you don't make the newspapers. I was like, thanks, Dad. All right, bro.
He sounds like a very blunt man. No, when I decided, so like, I stayed in Riverside, fucking like damn near my whole life. I was kind of a townie. Right. Like I went to college in San Diego, which is like an hour some change south. But for the most part, I'm like in the same place my whole life. Yeah. And if it wasn't for quarantine and COVID and shit, no way I would have moved out here. I'd still be out there fucking running in circles.
So that made you leave?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know what your quarantine was like. Mine was like, I got to hear about yours now. Let me hear about yours. What'd you do?
Oh, go ahead. I just want to know what forced you from quarantine up here.
All right, so it goes in phases, right? So first there was it's COVID shit. Oh, zombie jokes. There's a lot of zombie jokes going on. And then Kobe died. That was depressing. Right. Then the shutdown happens. And I was freaking out. I was like, I thought I was an extrovert at the time, actually. I thought like, oh, man, I'm not going to be able to do comedy.
Right, yeah.
You know.
We was all like that.
I was freaking out.
Shit.
And then I call it, my favorite part of quarantine was, I call it Tiger King quarantine. That was the part where right before George Floyd got killed, it was this like, because we're all chilling.
What do you mean? I remember Tiger King. That's my shit.
It was great.
Shout out Bobby Joe.
I feel like that's a cousin or something.
Shouting out. No, I'm gonna just start shout out my mama. Janet O. No, but
So I'm in quarantine. I'm actually like I've got time to think and process and work on my shit, and I was I was just like I felt better. I was in shape because I didn't have shit to do. I was like relaxed. I was meditating, all that shit. And then shit started, like quarantine started opening up a little bit, just a little bit. And as things were coming back to what was as close to normal as possible, I could feel this depression, and like it felt like as soon as I was around everyone again, I wasn't feeling that same way.
Right.
And I started to panic. I was like, no, I fixed it. I figured it all out. What the fuck's going on? And what I came to the realization was I needed to leave. Like it was the space I was in, it was the environment I was in.
And how old were you?
I was 30.
30.
30.
Yeah.
So
you got all the time in the world.
I mean,
you lucky you realize that. A lot of motherfuckers don't, and they think 30's too late and shit, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was fucking 41. Yeah, I was like,
that's why I have so much respect for that. I can't even imagine. I really can't wrap my mind around me at 21 moving. Oh, fuck no. That'd have been a mess. But like that's but what was your quarantine? What happened to you? Because you were in Chicago.
No. Well, I was living in Chicago and I was fit and I was sober Monday through Friday. Big baby. You know what I'm saying?
I can't imagine you sober.
Bro, and I'm talking about I went to the gym. I was like 160 pounds. I tell you, I was cut. That don't matter. Quarantine hit. Okay. My boss at Potbelly put me down. He said, go home for at least. I was telling him, you know, this whatever's going on. And it was all, at first nobody knew. Then he sat me down. He's like, just go home for a little bit. Go home for the weekend. So I was like, all right, bet, say less. He was like, you'll at least be off a week. That's what he said. I said, say less. Went home, week passed, nothing. But unemployment, baby. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I was making like at least $500 more than I make working every day.
Yeah.
And I'm in Louisville, and I was staying with my homie, you feel me? And then, I don't know, just fucking getting paid. And I ended up staying there for, I'd say, like 5 months. Yeah. And it was great. I was at the lake every motherfucking day. I was living my old life. You know what I'm saying? What I always thought that I'd be back sooner too, which in comedy you'll never be back. I can assure you that. But it was crazy. Fell in love. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God! All that came back, and shit went on the second shutdown. Oh, I kept calling for my job back.
Oh, you had a second shutdown? Because you're in the South. That's a different
experience. No, they didn't give a fuck in the South. That's what I'm saying. We was doing whatever. We was eating. Boy, I'm buying radios. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about an actual radio for $30 that has the FM, AM dial because I didn't give a fuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then I came back. I kept calling for my job. He said, I'll give you your job back. And I came back and I was making 20 hours. My rent at this point was probably like 8 something for a little studio. And I was like, God, I'm not going to make it. And so, and I was in love. And so I was like, I'm about to get this fucking rental because I don't have to a lot of shit. I'm about to move back to Louisville, right? Yeah. After the second shutdown, I'm about to move back to Louisville.
Wait. That's okay. You said second shut. What?
In Chicago, there was a second shutdown. So I came back. Everything was a little bit open, and then they went on a second lockdown or whatever. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So there was like a second major one, right?
Okay.
I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. Like I can't stay up here and waste this money. I'm not even making. I'm like dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got the fucking rental. And the day before I was moving back, I tell you what, that's what I know. I got some good friends because I told them I was moving back, and they were like, "You're a fucking idiot. Like, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? They're all the same age as me, and I don't know why but they're like, "You're a fucking idiot. Why would you move back to Louisville, Kentucky? You've been doing this for so long. Why would you move back?" And I'm like, action. Say action.
Action.
Right. So what was I talking about? I'm a little high.
You're moving back, and your friends from back home.
Oh yeah, and because I was partly moving back because shut down, partly moving back because I was in love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they're like, "You're a fucking idiot. Like out of all of us idiots, you fucking are out here doing this. You're a fucking idiot moving back." And that night before, I did Zanies, and it was like opened up. And I fucking killed it. And I went back, and I was looking at all these boxes and shit. And I just was like, fuck it. I ain't moving. Fuck it. I'm not moving. I'll struggle it out. I've struggled this whole there's been more struggles, you know what I'm saying, than that. But I already had the rental because I just had a couple bucks. Drove it back to Louisville. Met up with my mom and daddy. They come out to help me. I'm like, I'm not moving back. And they gave me a big ass hug. They're like, damn right, you ain't moving back. I'm like, damn right, something. And thank God for that night. You know what I'm saying? And I think after that night, that's when it went on the second shutdown. Because I was like, oh, shit.
Now
you know, right now, goddamn, it just, right. I had felt the hope.
Okay, all right. Now, one of the reasons I like doing this podcast is it gives me a chance to, like, actually get to know people. I'm sure you've noticed when I go out, I do my time, and I fucking leave. Like, nobody ever, like, sees me, right? And you, like, it makes so much sense why you're so chill. It seems like you had really good people in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They my dogs. They be up here.
I think that's why I moved.
Yeah.
Like, your reason for moving was, like, it feels like it was I want to make this comedy shit work, yeah?
That's the only reason. Fuck you think I'm in Chicago for, boy?
Otherwise you'd be back?
Yeah.
For real?
You think hell yeah. I wouldn't just live up here, bro.
Why not?
I mean, I would. I love Chicago. And now that I've lived here for 7 years of my life, yes. But hell no. Take me back home. Settle me down. Give me a good wife, couple kids. Send them off college, boy. That's how you do it.
I like how the accent got more and more.
Well, that's how you do it, brother.
The more you think about Louisville, the more it goes, you revert.
I miss my family and everything, you know?
That's okay. Yeah, we're very different.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, when I moved, I had this good job. And the lady I had worked with, she had lived here for 5 years. She was like, the difference between you and me, she said, I was running. She said, see, when you come home, everybody got open arms.
Yeah.
Feel me? So
I think I'm like that lady a little bit. I wouldn't
you
say
was running.
Yeah, running implies it's gonna be bright now. I don't need this extra light. What the fuck happened? No, the running. I don't like the idea. I don't like the word running because I don't think it was that. I was setting a boundary, and the only way to set that boundary was to be physically far away.
Right.
So like,
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, and this is no shade to the people back home, but I didn't feel that warmth. That like, how long were you in Chicago at that point when you decided you were almost gonna? It had been about 6 years, or something like.
COVID probably like 4.
When you first said,
probably like 4 years. I had already been up here.
When you first said you were gonna move out here, how did people react?
I don't know. They was excited, but I don't think they thought it was gonna last how it lasts. But like I said, that don't matter. That distance ain't shit. It's a little distance, like 5 hours.
Oh yeah.
The other night, I was 5 a.m. Bitches is banging at my door at 5 a.m. I'm like, up. I'm fucking alert, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with people like that. Like, people don't know where I live. I'm fucking freaking out. I'm butt naked. I'm in there, and I said, if y'all don't speak, I'm not answering the door. I was like, I got a gun. I ain't got a gun. I do have guns in Kentucky, but I ain't got no guns in Chicago. I don't feel like you always might need one, but I don't feel like I put myself in that. But anyways, I'm like, I got a gun. If you don't speak, I'm not answering the door. All of a sudden, I hear keys come out. There's only one person that has keys to my apartment. She lives in Louisville. They have drove all the way up here through the night. Just to hang. Sneak in. I'm like, bro, I was finna kill somebody.
They ain't no call or anything?
All I had was my vibrator in my hand, about to motherfucker smack a bitch. No, they had turned that location. That was like a good,
Yeah.
That's some real shit.
See, I think like okay. I think my relationships with people back home are better now because of the distance. But when I swear to God, when I said I want to move to Chicago, generally speaking, I did not get that warm support. It was, you gonna come back. You're gonna be back.
It's too expensive. Yeah.
It's too. No. It's more expensive in California.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be forgetting where you from.
Right?
My bad.
I ain't from Louisville. We don't drink moonshine. We go get regular beer.
Just Gatorade.
No, but there was a lot. It was just negative. It was like. It felt like crabs in a bucket. It felt like, let me do something here. I feel like, I know it's extreme, but I gotta go. I'm 30. Like, I gotta go. And the reaction, I was not happy with that shit. With the reaction.
Are you happy now though?
I'm so happy now.
Are you happy? How old are you now?
32.
Right.
I love it out here. Like, this is home. I continue.
Is the shit.
I'm trying to wrap my mind. I don't know. I'm this month. I'm gonna be paying rent with comedy. I've never done that in my life.
Oh, period. Yeah.
It's
Must be nice. No,
but you got pot belly. No, but
nah, I do. My comedy money I use on other shit.
I'm trying to, but I'm like, I love it out here. I love the people out here. I love talking to people. Like, it's just like a dope city.
Yeah, everywhere you go, there's always something going on, and it's just
do.
like everybody kind of minds their business.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important part is people minding their like a motherfucker could be shitting on the side of the road and you just be like, that motherfucker shitting, but I'm gonna just keep going. And then you might be like, what? Yeah, look, he's shitting. Then you just keep going, and most of the time that don't even make it to the dinner table. You forgot that motherfucker was shitting because so much other shit has gone on.
Do they mind their business in Louisville?
I mean, no, not like that. They gonna be like, this motherfucker was shitting. They gonna be right at the dinner table. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn.
Nah, see, I don't think Riverside is as small, probably, but it's like it just has this gross suburban feel that I'm not a fan of. But regardless, so you move here. Okay, I'm gonna do a back to. Okay, this will be fun. I've been doing this podcast a little bit. I've been finding different ways to to interview people. All right, here it is. Here it is.
Am I doing all right?
You're doing great. You just being you. You just easy going. That's a dope vibe to have, to be easy going.
You can't make everything too serious. Everything's too serious in life. Seriously, and you just can't be too serious, bro.
Yeah.
People at my job be too serious. It's like, bro, we put fucking mayonnaise on a sandwich, G.
It's very realistic.
And I get it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like that is somebody's everything.
It's and you know what? Being out here has helped me realize that a little more. It's like now that I'm not bogged down by a bunch, like 30 years of like trauma and bullshit, but now it gives you perspective. It's like, oh, it's not. Once you go through winter in Chicago, oh Lord.
Oh, I know. And I'm from the South, baby.
Yeah.
I'm from the South, and they be like, they call into work when the snow too. And I walk from my crib to the red line, wait for the red line. I be booting up, boy. I boot mama. That's what they call me, and I'm like, y'all would not last. They can't even walk in the summertime down this motherfucker. They need a break. Break.
So when you first moved here, you're all alone. You're what neighborhood were you in?
I've always lived in the same neighborhood, but I was it's Lakeview.
You're on Lakeview.
The View.
Hey.
I was on Diversity Parkway in Sheridan, on top of Duffy's Bar. If you ever heard of that, been there a couple times.
You got a studio.
That was a very small studio. That studio was literally.
You were in a box.
For 5 years. And COVID, once I came back, I moved. I was like, I can't live here anymore.
That's fair.
Now I got a decent ass, you know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Studio, but it's decent. I got a big ass walk-in closet.
Are you doing comedy and you got a studio apartment? It's good.
A block from Laugh Factory.
Oh.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, the location-wise, so it's good.
So you move here, you move in the studio. What time of year was it? Was it, I assume, summer?
What, the first time?
When you moved here, yeah.
Oh, no, it was wintertime when I very first moved here. I moved here December or January of 2017 or 16. 17 or 16.
Why did you move in the winter?
Beginning of the year, taxes. Hell yeah.
So you move here, and what was your first night like? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. For the most part, I went out. I had searched gay bars. That's what I searched.
Googled
gay bars.
Yeah.
And it took me out. And you know what they took me to? A gay bar. I didn't know that gay and lesbian were really different things. And I live in Boys Town right now.
Yeah.
And that's a different thing in Chicago. So I went there. It's like all these fucking guys with fucking wangalangs out and shit. I'm like, oh, that's always was like there's a difference between gay and lesbian. Like, that's how it was when I grew up in up here. No, there is a difference. Yeah. Like, I need to go to Andersonville, period.
Oh, is Andersonville where the lesbians hang out? Okay, that's the spot I got to go to.
Mm-hmm. So I went there, and then that same night, I had went out to another place in Wrigleyville. So I was working my way down, and I remember I bought some wings. I was fucking totally blacked out by the end of the night, but I bought some wings. This is my first weekend in Chicago. And I remember I went to the bathroom. When I came back, somebody was sitting at the bar eating my wings. I'm like, bro, you owe me $20. Like, what the fuck are you doing eating my wings? But it was late, and, like, I didn't understand, I guess, like, the party vibe.
Yeah.
And so it was late as fuck. And all I remember after that is I woke up with somebody else's jacket on and $20 in my pocket in my new. And I had wrote this girl I was talking to before I left Louisville, and it just said, help me, at 3:03 a.m. And I woke up laughing. I'll never forget that. And she's like, girl, you just moved. You can't be writing help me at 3:03 a.m.
In the middle of Chicago. And I don't know.
You at. I swear. Shout out Bailey.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like you got here immediately, just started having fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Then do you remember when you first did stand up? Like, what was going on? Where were you at?
Well, the first 6 months, the first time I ever did stand up was the trigger warning, but it was at the original place, the Drop. First time I ever did stand up, I was walking. I seen this guy with a notepad in my head. I'm like, I just moved. I'm like, you gonna do comedy? Which, I mean, they could be doing 1,000 things with notepads, but he was like, yeah. And it was Quentin Johnson, and he was like, I'm going to the Drop. He's like, this is the hardest mic in the city, or whoopsie bop. And I was like, I was finna go home, but I was like, nah, I got you. I'm finna go too. And I walk in there, and Hostins, Ed Towns, and probably at that part, Rodescu. And it was at this Drop. It was right there. I don't know where the fuck it is, but right there, the Drop. You know what it is. And it wasn't the hardest. There was just no lights, and there was a lot of people. And of course, you get on the list, you're like 36, and you're like, all right, I guess I'm gonna wait it out, big dog. But what you come to find out in real deal Chicago open mics, sometimes the later it gets, the funner it gets, because that's when the real people hang around. They drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's only going to be comics, might as well be the real comics, not the ones that's just in there real quick, like we say we do, in and out, So
you get there, you're doing your thing, and then how long until you start making friends?
What, in comedy?
Yeah.
Oh, probably off the bat.
Who was the first people that you, like, clicked with?
In comedy. These people probably don't even exist. Well, definitely Rovon. And what did I see? All them. I'm trying to think of these other places. Duffy's. Who was up there? I mean, you got Tucker, Brookshire. They do exist. They're in New York. These people are all over the place now. But it used to be a completely different scene, obviously.
Except for Rovon.
Right. But also, in the first 6 months I lived here, and let me just admit to this, I went and I served second shift at this fucking place, and I was making like $300 a night. But I was working till like 11, and so I wasn't like, I was totally missing out on comedy. And then I walked to work one day, and guess what? Boom, shut down. I sat down. My lease was ending that month. I was about to re-sign it, but when I went to work, it had all shut down. I even switched shifts and shit for this day. They didn't even tell me, don't come. I cried outside. Then I said, well, I got to go. So I moved back to Louisville for 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 months.
What did that feel like? Like, I'd imagine that was tough.
Yeah. I mean, at first I just cried, and then I was like, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Then I went home, and I thought that, fuck it. And then I was doing all the mics in Louisville, and I was like, I'll just be a big fish in a small pond, and that's fine. Then I got to Louisville, and I went back to work at Steak and Shake. And I left this good job before, and now I'm back 6 months later, and I'm like, I'm just going to get on at the quickest place I know how to, because I need money now. And so I started working at Steak and Shake, and then I worked there about 5 months, and I said, I saved up. And I ain't going to lie, my homie gave me a pound of weed. I sold that shit like a motherfucker, and I gave him his money back, and I had me a decent-ass amount, plus... Then I just moved back, and I just struggled. But I needed to come back. Fuck that shit. All they doing the same shit. They partying all night, which the partying is cool, and the fucking is cool, and this is that, and that. But you could be doing something else. You know what I'm saying? Pursuing something else in that midst of it. So
it feels like, I mean, I wasn't there, but it feels like you probably thought you were going backwards, or maybe felt like a failure at the time, and that like put you in hyper gear, and you're like, no, fuck all that.
And I was 22 and I moved back in that same year.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I'm done. I don't remember. I wish I could remember the moment I was like, you know what, fuck this. But yeah.
When I first moved here, I immediately went to work mode. Like, what I dig about you is you know, it's not that serious, right? It's not that serious. Life is silly. Let's treat it like it's silly. You the person who's gonna be at the end of the mic with the real comics. Nigga, fuck you. But no, that dig at me. You know I come at 7:32 and I wait patiently and I sign up first.
For my second spot.
And I fucking leave. No, but that is something I've been working on.
But I do get that getting older too. Like shit.
It's getting older and it's my personality. I didn't know who I was when I first moved out here. That first year, it felt like people were meeting this. You know when a baby is first learning how to walk, and it's awkward as shit. It's like they don't know what they're grabbing onto shit that's not even there, and it's falling on their face.
Because that's all they know.
It felt like my first year in Chicago, people were literally seeing me walk, and I felt like I had really awkward interactions with people early on. Yeah. It felt like that. It could have just been insecurities. I don't fucking know. But now it's like, okay, I kind of know. I know who I am. Look, I'm the guy that's gonna come early and fucking leave because I don't have that personality.
No, I get that too. Shit.
But I've also been trying to step out of my comfort zone and go out a little more, and it's been fun. Like I've never regretted it.
Right.
So you move out here. You some shit happens. You go and you come back, and then you're hanging out with Rovan, I assume.
Yes.
What happened that y'all just clicked at me? Because I see y'all together. If I think of you, I think of Rovan and vice versa.
That's what everybody does. Hey, neighbor. Shout out Rovan. No. Well, I'll just tell you this because I'm a little high on a little tips. The first time we met, my mom was in town, right? My mom was in town. We're at Live One. You know, a Live One.
Yeah.
Open mic Sunday night. Sunday afternoon they got the mic. We was at the mic, and my bad. I'm mistaken this.
Let me restart this though.
My mom was not there the first time we met.
Okay.
The first time we met, we were at a Live One though, and he just sat next to me like anybody would. He was like, "You just look funny." That's exactly what came out of his mouth. I swear to God. And it's not romantic. You thought it was about to be romantic or something. He was like, "You just look funny, motherfucker."
No,
I was like, you just look cool, bro. Like, fuck it, what you want? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And that's somebody that you can count on as like a real friend outside of comedy and shit.
That's...
like yesterday, I was like, you know, I was in the house. I was like, I just ain't feeling that way. And he lives just down the street. And he was like, you need some tea, lemon, honey? I got you. I was like... Nah, I got that, but
I can't imagine him so hospitable.
Yeah, bro. We got to get through this. We got shit to do.
Yeah. So, okay. So there's something about y'all it was like, yeah, this makes sense. I get the same thing with Rachel Hall.
Right.
Of like, the first time I met her, I was in Laugh Factory because everyone was like, I think it was Christian Royce was like, no, I mean, you got to hang out at the spots. I thought like you go there, you sign up, you perform, and you leave. I didn't know you hang out there. Mm-hmm. So I go there, and I don't have no goddamn social skills. So I'm sitting on that little, that bench that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, on the back.
Mm-hmm. I'm just sitting there.
What, on the top or on the bottom?
The top.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's got bad posture,
It's terrible. It's terrible.
You know, trying to hang out. Okay, hang out.
And like the sofa part slips off, and there's like drugs under the plane. But I'm sitting there and
need those back.
I'm sitting there for like 3-4 hours. I got there from the first show in the very beginning to the very last show. And I was just sitting there watching people. And eventually Rachel looks over because she's been looking at me throughout the whole night like, who the fuck is this? Because I'm not saying anything to anybody.
Right.
And she looks over and she says to, I think it was Skylar and maybe 3 other people. She's like, hey, who is this nigga over here? I was like, hey, I'm Aaron. I'm from California. And then we played Uno and I won.
I think I got it in my bag.
Say what?
I said, I think I got it in my bag.
Okay, fuck this podcast.
Turn it off.
No, and then we just, I don't know, I think we shared like YouTube videos and we just kind of clicked and hung out ever since. So I get what you mean about like you just meet somebody in. Did you have that in Kentucky? Like, did you ever meet somebody like Rovon in Kentucky? Someone that you just met and it clicked?
I mean, yeah, but I have all girl best friends, and they're my best friends for life. You know what I'm saying? I got like 5 girls that are like consistent. We go on trips like every month, every 2 months. Yeah, we out here, somewhere.
Okay.
But that's just people you grew up with.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say just randomly. No, I wouldn't say in any other state, but Louisville. It's just, everybody kind of knows everybody. And if you don't know them, somebody knows them.
Right. So, okay. So you meet Rovon, and how old are you? Like 20, probably still in your early 22?
No, I was probably 21 when I met him.
All right.
Yeah, I was 21. I met him before I moved back for that 5 months. So I was 21.
Okay. And then you just kept grinding in comedy? Like, how was that?
Well, he said, we're doing a show. We're going to start it. Well, first he said, we got this mic going. It's called the Open Heckle Mic. Bang, bang, period. One of the fucking most best mics that's ever been held in Chicago, Illinois. The Open Heckle Mic. Check our background, the Mutiny. And I was like, and then he was like, we're producing a show, and we want you to be a host. And then and I'm still kind of new to comedy. I'm like a year or two in. I'm like, host the show. And so he kind of, you know what I mean.
What was so great about the open mic? Was it the Open Heckle Mic?
The Open Heckle Mic.
Yeah, what was
it? It didn't start till like 12 on Friday. So if you ever been to Power Hour, as soon as you get out of Power Hour or shows or anything, it was at this dive bar that like didn't give a fuck. It was like run down, like, if you know the Mutiny, R.I.P., Ed, all them. But I'm telling you, it's like the most richety ratchet. They had 3 mics there a week, but Friday nights was the Open Heckle, and it didn't give a fuck. Like, you be on stage, you wouldn't even be able to get a word in because people are like,
just screaming at you. Yeah,
just screaming at you. And you know what? That doesn't really get you. It ain't till normal people are like being racist and shit, and you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Whoa, what?
Yeah. It was Open Heckle Mic. It was open everything. Open mic out, open racism, open everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and nobody gave fuck, but it was crazy, but it was absolutely insanely. And we just shut down the whole mic, have a dance party. That was some of the best times of my life too.
That sounds dope as fuck.
It was.
So okay. So then what happened to the Mutiny?
They shut down. Boy, they
COVID?
got no COVID. Oh my God, you gotta know the Mutiny. Hell no,
I
not
don't know
COVID,
the Mutiny.
bro.
Tell me about the Mutiny.
It was so ratchet. It's health violations and shit. They went and shut it down. Then the owner, he was an old Southside Irish dude, and they opened up a key club, and it was called the and then you could go in there, but you had to register.
Okay.
And pay like a thing, but then you'd be in there. It was open till like 9 a.m.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, you could smoke in there.
Yeah. Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Y'all
what's going on here?
level.
Yeah.
Okay, that's smooth. Y'all got a secret knot,
but
and then
yeah, we couldn't do the mic there anymore though.
That's fair. It would have been too high key.
Yeah, and pool was free there. It was just like the ultimate, Yeah. That's when everybody really got the nut. So if you see a lot of the older heads that are really know each other, it's because of all these rickety rackety ass mics,
It does seem like y'all have history.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's what it is, the rickety rackety ass mics. And I enjoy the other mics that are more
Yeah, bow tie mics.
Right, but it ain't like that.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It seems like you're in comedy in a lot of ways because you want to have fun. Like you want this. It's a lifestyle that. It's a lifestyle. Is that a good way to put it? Like it's a lifestyle that you just like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, but yeah. I don't really worry about that too much because
I get you.
It's fun, and you got to remember to have fun too.
Yeah.
Because as much as people, and that's you were saying, everybody's always on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes people are always fucking on, and so annoying.
Yeah.
When you're just trying to chill, and they're like.
What like they're trying
it's
to
almost
do
like they're telling jokes or something.
Right.
Not that's what I mean. Not do business. That's fine. Do business. Let's talk business. Okay. We business people, but it's like
when someone's trying too hard to be funny.
Right.
I had that recently. You know when
I know.
Yeah, when like someone who's been doing it for like 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
you're in a circle in a place smoking weed or drinking or whatever. People are chilling, they're laughing, whatever, and that person like inserts them, they like transport into the
Yes.
middle of the circle.
Very
And they look
weird.
at it, it's
And then and then you see them up 10 minutes later, and and then you see them up 10 minutes later doing that set on stage, and you're outside of an open mic, huddled up, smoking weed because it's cold outside. And there's something completely different in that, and us sitting there bullshitting and talking about something and being like, oh, that is kind of funny. Right. I think I'll try that on stage. You
it's
know
like
what I'm
natural.
saying? Right.
Yeah.
And that is that's how you should write. You feel me? Versus being like, oh, I'm gonna try. What are you doing? We all know we've been doing this shit for how long? We know that you're like telling a bit right now.
Yeah, it's like a magician going up to a bunch of old head magicians doing, hey man, y'all want to see a trick? I do this to the bitches back at home. It's like we know what you're doing. Yeah, man, it's about being natural, just kind of being yourself.
Right.
I think that's what makes any comedian funny. I got to know Mike Robinson yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yesterday or Saturday?
No, like I didn't talk to him much Saturday because everyone was freaking out that he was back. But he did the podcast. He's going to be the episode before yours. That man is himself and out of his goddamn mind.
Oh yeah, we know.
That's
an old head. He an old head. Shout out Mike.
But being yourself, all that shit. Do you think? Okay, you think somebody can learn how to do comedy, or do you think you got to just be naturally funny?
I think you just got to be naturally funny. I mean, in a sense. Because I feel like there's a couple different people, which I don't know, and I really don't like to talk on nobody's art. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's art is their own art. But I feel like you can see the difference in entertainers and writers. Right? Am I saying that right?
Entertainers, like...
and writers when they're both doing stand-up, right?
Okay, what's the difference between an entertainer and
Well,
a
I'm
writer?
trying to put that the nice way.
No, I want to hear that. Well, fair enough. Put it however you want to put it.
Well, I mean, some people get up there and they entertain, they're funny. And then other people write jokes and they're good jokes, but they're just not funny. You know? Well, I guess personality.
Okay. I
don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't learn personality. Like, I see so many people go and be like, you know,
yeah.
And it's not till people are like in it and like that.
I'm gonna try to put it in my own words. Tell me if this makes sense.
Right, because I don't know.
Is you can't teach someone how to be interesting.
Right.
You can teach someone how to write really well and be clever. You can even teach them.
And it's funny as fuck. But
the structure of a joke inherently makes it good.
Right.
Magicians, there's like.
That's a great way to kind of
There's like magicians who can do the card trick, but I'm bored.
Yeah.
And I know you're doing something, and then there's people that make it feel like this is magic. Is he a warlock?
Other shit, right? And they're talking, yeah.
And that's what you respect's not the right word because that does sound insulting, but that's what you gravitate towards.
Right? Yeah. And every art, yeah. I don't, and you taught it. How are you gonna be taught it?
How to have personality, like a person, yeah.
Or just taught comedy. I mean, I guess taught comedy, yeah.
I mean, there's comedy classes, which I don't even want to get into the comedy classes. But
we can.
How long has it been? I sincerely don't know.
I don't know. What time is it right now?
5:02.
So
about
a little under an hour.
A little under an hour. Okay. Well, do you have some shit you need to do after this?
No, I'm chilling right now.
Okay, cool. Then there's no rush.
But right this second, I'm about to have this.
Perfect.
I chain smoke.
There's no rush.
That's the problem.
Yeah. What?
I was thinking about what you were saying. Taught it.
Yeah.
Taught comedy.
Yeah. This is like a Tarantino movie. This is real intense.
No, I was just thinking about like my brothers. They know comedy more than me. They love that shit. They listen to that shit in and out. If you ask me, I don't listen to comedy.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, I don't, bro. I hate even, like you said, you in and out. Which, I mean, I enjoy, like, the riff mics and shit like that. Those are fun because it's not the same. But it's like, And my brothers, they know in and out. They heard Kiefer on. One of my brothers knows Kiefer from the Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, do you know that that's like my boy? And he, he doesn't really know a lot. He's the middle child. We don't talk that much. But I'm like, that's like my boy. I'm like, I sleep at his house. He's like, for real? He killed it at the interview part. Like, they know comedy up and down. But to go ask them to be funny, to go ask that guy to be funny, it ain't gonna work. His personality is not that.
Right.
Which, I mean, not saying that he couldn't, but no, he wouldn't.
No, I get you. Yeah. You got to kind of be a weird person. You got to be a little off in some ways, like just not regular. I feel like
it's a sense of attention.
Would you feel like you need attention?
Hell yeah. I'm the youngest child, boy. Do you think I get up and go to mics because I don't want attention? Even if and I mean, don't get me wrong, that's the best way to work on anything is mics. And I salute mics 100%. But you think I don't get up and have the itch for a mic?
Yeah.
I could do that shit in the house, but that ain't going to get me nowhere. Or I could go out here and I could see a couple people and get, even if it ain't attention on stage, just a little conversation here and there that I'm not finna have sitting in the house.
What is your dream scenario in comedy?
Who, me?
Yeah. What's the perfect life you're living with comedy as the center? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm not too worried about all that. Obviously, my main goal is to have a special. That's about it. I mean, the money and shit, I could have it. Or I could not have it. I'm living my life to the fullest. But a special would be nice to show my peoples this what we doing. You know what I'm saying? To show and prove every night we out here doing this shit and working hard for something. Like, put me on something, Netflix, bro. So then they can just pull me up. That's all I want. And be like, this is what I've been out here doing.
Do you have like an hour? If we had cameras and shit, do you
now? Yes, sir. I got more than an hour dirty, but it just depends who the crowd is. I got an hour with 3 people. I got 2 hours with a full crowd.
For real? Okay. Would you ever actually if I okay. I feel like I should talk about this off the camera, but I don't know, I can edit it if I want. If I was able to get like a camera crew together, would you want to film a special?
Hell yeah, I film a special.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And now I get that's what you got to do. And you see how I'm charging my phone. I got to get a new phone. I got to get on these clips, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so like old school, and I don't really keep up with that shit. Like a phone's meant to call, and I check Facebook, Instagram and shit. But
I feel like you got a rotary.
Apparently I got to keep up with the shit. So I got to get clip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to start getting on that.
I'm with you. Okay. Yeah. All right. I think I got one more question, and then we'll wrap it up soon. All right. Where does Bang Bang come from?
Bang Bang. That's been a long time ago. Me, Michael Johnson, and Rovon Hill. We was doing the show when I first came back, the show and the open mic, and we booked people off the open mic and shit.
Yeah. And depending on how they handled it?
Yeah, we just always say bang bang, and we out here. Bang bang, bang bang. And I just kind of kept with it. You know what I mean? Me and Rovon say bang, bang all the time. Michael Johnson says bang. Everybody says bang, bang. But I just kind of kept with it like bang, 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 bang. You know? And as soon as I go on stage, the first thing I say is bang, bang. It's kind of like a hype man shit for me, And I know my homies with me, even if they ain't.
I like that you have a catchphrase. Has you ever have audience members afterwards be like, hey, bang, bang?
All the time. Just everybody that we chill with, it just be like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. I want you to put that on a t-shirt. Saw that shit at the show.
Yeah, somebody wrote me one time and they're like, we have a bet right now. Do you say bang, bang or gang, gang? I was like, hang. No,
Yo, how do you write? Like, do you sit down and like physically write shit on, or do you just riff? I feel like you riff a lot.
I riff. And when I'm like talking to people.
Yeah.
And they're like laughing. If I can, I'll try to whip out my phone and write down what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's usually stories. I'm more of like a storyteller kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's real. And that's my favorite part about like my writing is you don't have to really like fake real. So I don't ever have to remember.
It's never going to be word for word. Like, oh, I forgot the for or the.
But then it does build into that. You get what I'm saying? Once I've told this story, 30 times, it has punchlines that I've gained every time, and I remember those punchlines every time. You know what I mean? And every time I tell it, another punchline hits.
Yeah.
You know, even like that little fat joke or whatever. It just started with this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now I got, you know, a revolver that's a fucking shotgun. You feel me?
It
It's
just
just every time
naturally-
I tell it, I'm thinking of more shit right off the bat. And if it hits, it hits. But there's been millions of other things that didn't hit, and I'll never remember it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Right now I've been writing like I used to write everything. When I first started, it was a word for word bullshit.
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
Like I don't know what that was. Like what was your logic when you were like writing in the beginning?
Just to fucking write a joke, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, I was like, I got a show tonight. I better write something.
Yeah.
But they would end up to be notebooks, like you said, of just word to word, because my shit's so long.
Mm-hmm.
So now, like, my strategy, if I'm about to go up on stage, like, say I'm telling all my jokes kind of have a name to them, and then they have bullets. So if my joke is like AI, I have a Allen, but that's not the joke, but that's the name of the joke.
Mm.
And then underneath of it is all these bullets that lead up to that, and then boom. Feel me?
I got to there as well. It started off was writing every single word, and then it was less. It was like sentences, and it went from sentences to like I'll write a word down, and I'll be like, all right, I know that's like the funny word, and let me just
and then
say.
you don't know what that fucking word is when you get to it.
And I've been bringing it. I mostly work out new shit at Shakers on Monday. Like
On
that's,
Monday.
That's
We
my.
right there. We need to go out there, but I go to 8-bit.
Is it because it's 8 minutes?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Shit's lit.
Hold on, I'm gonna do the thing.
But Shake with Derek,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love Shakers because of the just the vibe. You know how every spot has a different vibe. Shakers feels like the perfect place to be free and just try some shit.
It's been there forever. You
Yeah.
know that might be it shut down after COVID, but that's been there forever.
That to me is like the perfect vibe for a mic.
Right.
I don't like those mics. There's some mics where it almost feels like everyone doesn't want to laugh.
Yeah.
And you got to like fight to make all these comics laugh that just don't want to be there. But then on the bright side of it, it's like if a joke hits there, then I feel real confident in it.
Right.
You know.
But you don't ever feel confident in a joke that you just like, I know this is finna work.
Before I say it,
Uh-huh.
I do, and then it usually bombs.
Oh my God. We gotta feel confident in it, bro.
It's like the times when I feel the most confident in something is the times when it bombs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the shit I don't even do on mics. I just be like, I know this is finna fit in, especially if it's just like those stories, but it's like a perfect little fluff or something. I'm like, I know this is finna hit. Boom.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have a lot of confidence, like just as a person?
Oh yeah, I'm confident as a mama. Oh, I do.
What does it feel like to be so confident? Or what do you think it feels like to not be confident in yourself?
Well, there's been times in my life where I don't feel confident. You know.
Like when? Like when you have a dress on?
I mean, just, life's life. I mean, obviously, trials and tribulations and shit. There's been moments where I'm not, like, confident, but every time I step outside that door, I don't bring my bullshit out that door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever's going on in my crib or in whatever closed doors, whenever I step out, let's go.
Did you just let it go and it just is life? That's something I'm working on, I think. Yeah. I hold, like, something upsets me, I'll hold on to it. I used to hold on to it for years. And now I've whittled it down to like, all right, you got it for about an hour.
Right.
And then let it go.
And that's the most important thing. If you're about to say something, just wait on it. Because in like 30 minutes, you finna hit a blunt or something. You finna be laughing. You finna be like, I was really finna, you gonna delete like a 15 paragraph text message. It's like, I was really on that. Like, you look crazy, you know?
Yeah, the amount of regret I have because I just rushed through a statement or I got some, I'm with you. I'm with you. I can't imagine you in a fight.
No, I don't. I swear to God, in all my relationships, shout out. No, I'm just like, what if I just started?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a big fighter, arguer at all. Like, we can just go ahead and talk about it right now. It's probably not that big of a deal. What? Somebody didn't do the dishes? My bad. I'm in the door right now. But no, we can just talk about it and get that shit over with.
Okay.
Because why argue?
Yeah. It's something like...
It's attention.
Do you think arguing is looking for attention?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
In a way.
Okay. I'm trying to think because I'm a arguer. Because I think there's times when I want to argue just for fun. Like, it's just fun. Sometimes I'll be like, no, Goodfellas is better than Little Mermaid. Like,
right.
I just want to be a contrarian.
Right.
And then there's times where I'm like dead serious, and you know what it is? The times when I'm dead serious are the times when that person's probably not gonna listen anyway, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
And you drunk, and nobody's gonna listen anyways, because everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I think I used to try to. I think I still do sometimes, but I used to try to convince people of shit, and it's like stop. After, you know what it was? After 2020, after COVID, I was like, oh, we're all just doing our own thing. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, I'm not gonna convince nobody of nothing. Nobody cares about my opinion. Vice versa. Let me just keep moving.
Yeah. No, and that's everybody. And like I'm living the best of both worlds, and everybody has their own fucking opinion. And guess what? Nobody listens. Then they're gonna try to argue theirs. And I'm very much I'm gonna take in every side of it. Mm-hmm. And I swear to God, I just say I was raised uneducated due to my own self. You know what I'm saying? I got my own problems. I got some dyslexia and shit in the equation, and that's just my own shit, and it don't matter. But learning through life and like, listen, I try to take in every part, and I know people that are dead wrong, and I know people, but I listen. I don't really talk back. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just try to take it in, listen. Unless something I know about, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Nah.
If it has anything to do with pot belly.
Yeah, I know it, big dog. And my most important thing is, if you're gonna talk to somebody, and we've been sitting here doing it. If you're gonna talk to somebody and you're being serious about something, you cannot be drinking. You need to have a sober conversation with that person or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And you trying to prove a point or whatever you're talking about. The drunker you are, and a lot of people drink, we out, we at mics and shit like that. The drunker you are trying to prove a point, the worse it gets. Yeah, the worse it gets. So if it's something serious to your heart, you take it to them sober. And
you can't you can't make a point and slur.
Right. I know.
You know what's going to take, even if you're really smart, and you said that. If Neil deGrasse Tyson was wasted and trying to talk about the comets, I'd be like, I don't believe you, man. That's
right.
We did smoked.
I don't know. I'm high.
Yeah.
I'm a little stone gone.
I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this is whatever it was meant to be.
I love podcasts, man.
What other podcasts have you been on?
A couple of them here and there.
Okay.
I
want to see you.
You make me sound bad because I got to remember their names real quick, and I can't. You good. Shout out. You are a big dog.
I feel like you and Rovon should have a podcast.
That's what everybody says.
You're not gonna do it?
I mean, yeah, but we both the most illiterate people on the phones.
That's what would be hilarious.
But I swear to God, he's better at the phone than me. So we are actually starting this new shit. We cook every Friday at Power Hour, right?
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, we fry fresh every Friday at Power Hour. It's called Hey Neighbor. We out here. We got a whole brand every Friday for the past, and now we're frying fresh, cooked to order, and we're also trying all the best wings in Chicago.
Yeah.
And we're recording that, so that'll be out in a little bit.
Oh, you guys gonna film it? We
just started, yeah.
That's
we just started that. But other than that, podcast, we used to have Crack Mamas, but you wasn't around then.
Wait, what's Crack Mamas?
It was in my studio apartment, that little one.
Yeah.
It was just cooking where we cook and we had people over. We chill, cook, drink, film it on Facebook Live, and that motherfucker was busting. That's where you get the most people.
It's Facebook Live?
Yeah, I feel so.
Fuck this YouTube shit. I'm going to do this shit live next time.
Well, no, I'm just saying because as far as for us, because when I tag him, we got so many mutual friends. It got so many views versus, you know what I'm saying, a podcast where you got to click.
I feel you.
I feel like that was a good platform. But
I think so. I think I think making shit with your friends is fun.
Right.
Like just doing anything in a group. How are you with being alone? Because I know you got a studio. Do you like being alone?
I did not.
At first, or now you good?
When I was younger, but now, especially now, I'm good, baby. Put me in my house. You know what I'm saying? Give me my rose. Call it a day. No, I'm just playing.
Because you almost 30, right?
I'm 28.
Yeah, you getting to 30. 30.
All right. Shh.
All right. I like 32. 30's great. Fuck my 20s.
No, I'm still having fun though.
Are you still having fun?
Yeah, I still go out.
Young blood.
Tomorrow's Friday too, and today's Thursday. But I work at 6:30 a.m. You get what I'm saying? So I gotta. But you just never know. But back in the day, but now I'm more likely to go home.
Okay, you used to stay up to 5:30 and then
go right into work. Yeah, God. And I could today, and they like, and I'm like, they like, I'm like, they like, you know.
Yeah. I admire your life. I don't know how do you do it, and I'm very impressed by it.
Well, tomorrow.
Yeah. All right.
Be out here.
You ready for the last? You ready for the last part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
Is
right.
it a rap or something?
Nah. You gotta look into the camera because the camera's you in 5 years.
Oh,
you gotta say something to yourself 5 years from now.
5 years from now, 28. 33. Do I gotta hold that book up?
No, you don't got to hold the book up.
I'll be 33.
Yeah.
Say something to myself at 33.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of deep.
Is that too deep?
That's kind of too deep. Say something to myself at 33. God. What would I even say to myself at 3? You thought you looked bad now. No, just playing. 33. I'm sure that you done made it back. Baby, you probably drinking margaritas. We hope Rovon don't have colon cancer. Because he going to be here. All right. No, I'm just playing. Hold on. 33. For real. All right. 33 years old.
Uh-huh.
33 years old. I hope you're happy. Right?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Like we are right now. Or if I'm dead, just play this at my funeral. I didn't make it to 33, y'all.
I would take this picture.